everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a three-time Pro Bowler, Derek Carr, leading the Oakland Raiders as they take on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. From up top, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles Davis, as always, with me as well. And CD, defenses better be on their toes in this one because we got two quarterbacks who love to throw the football, and they throw it very well.
Over 4,000 yards each in the previous season. So what you're saying is, if you're a defender, hope you're prepared properly. Hydrated, stretched, be on your toes, as you said, because the ball's coming your way.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Here we go. First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Carr now on first down. Here's a short little toss to Carrier. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Carr going to throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward. First 9 seasons in the league for Brown were, of course, in Pittsburgh. Last year, though, growing concerns of his dissatisfaction in his role with the Steelers and the quibbles with Ben Roethlisberger. So he ends up being traded to the Raiders in March. 7-time Pro Bowler, 6 straight years of at least 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns. Now Brown, he lost the football. But I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it, yes. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. It's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. The first carry for DeAndre Washington. Had some space to move right away as he's all the way up to the 30. 9 good yards here on the run, and now 3rd down.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr able to find Walter. That's complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, He's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
Let's go, team. Big series right.
On first and goal, Washington. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. DeAndre Washington. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
And we're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. To throw is Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Maurice Hurst able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack. Tahir Whitehead racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. He is proving his worth defensively, getting the sack here. That comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Off the play fake, Cousins. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
53 is the mic. Quick talk.
On third down, Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
That seemed to me to be all about trusting your receiver.
No doubt about it, because when he put that ball in the air, I will guarantee you everyone who's watching this game right now thought that's up for grabs. But this is a lot of practice time. As you mentioned, a ton of trust, and he knows how good his guy is. So to him, it wasn't up for grabs. To him, it was a big play waiting to happen.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Cousins the thrower. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Herb Smith Jr., his first NFL reception goes for 6 as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Carr now on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now they go screen. It's complete. Now the ball comes loose, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Cousins now toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, but it'll be second down. A look there at how the Raiders will start defensively. This crew against the pass, issues at times. Ranked number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up second and 10. On the run, Abdullah. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Third and long for Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. Stephon Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
They're on 30-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
But you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
11 yards there, first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Man open left side is Brown. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
From the 38, Carr. And that'll be incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, but now it's 3rd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. A little bit of flip the script. Quarter 1, they struggled. Quarter 2 here, they put things together. And I guess sometimes, Charles, you just come out and you have to get your feet underneath you in a ball game, right?
That's exactly right, because every now and then, you don't come out of the gate as fast or as strong as you want to. Sometimes you have to ramp up into it or take a few hits along the way and figure it out. And that's what they've done so far. Slow start, but now they're starting to put it together.
And Abdullah lost the football. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
The throw complete to Beebe. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. In his own end zone, it's Carr. And Waller taking it in over the middle. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw, it's Carr. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line, I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they will have the football deep in enemy territory all the way at the 10-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
They'll run with Madison, and he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Now a play fake here on first down. The left side caught by Diggs. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. And some concerns caused him to slip to the 5th round. I guess if you're him, the good news is you kind of flew under the radar. Maybe expectations are low. You can come in and prove something.
And a lot to prove because those off-field concerns that creep in on you, you want to prove that they're all wrong, that they don't matter, that you are a much better player than what people picture.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Bailey's kick is good. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams. An 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. Throwing on first down is Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On second down and 4. Carr. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Carr now to throw. Got a man, it's Brown. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. Carr signaling to his guys, let's go here.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
11 yards there, first down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. The kick by Carlson is good. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And it's the Broncos who have the lead in the second quarter. Joe Flacco with 2 touchdown passes there. From there, let's hop over to New England. Check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And they have the lead over the visiting New York Jets. Tom Brady, sharp as ever. He's got 2 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. In our game, it's been the play of Derek Carr that's led the way. He's thrown for...
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
Good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time. That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're talking about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Raider offense led by Antonio Brown heading back out. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Carr will find his running back. It's Jalen Richard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. On first down, Richard. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll keep it on the ground. Richard, and he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now on first down, it's Washington again. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Now they'll throw with Carr. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 14.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it. Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. He lost 6 there on the first down play. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
2nd down and goal. Carr. This will be caught at about the 5. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Carr, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Ryan Grant, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Tahir Whitehead, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 24 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be...
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Lets it fly for Thielen. It's caught inside the 25. Give him 30 yards there. Obviously. They're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well to get a few stops.
Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead is down to a field goal. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 1st down, Carr. That's caught by Waller out left side. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Carr gives to Richard, and he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. Second year in Oakland for Walter after being signed off the Ravens practice squad, but only 6 catches, 75 yards a season ago. Then he got a lot of hype in the offseason following OTAs. Their offensive coordinator saying, yeah, Darren, you have that position. Coach Gruden went as far as to say, Darren, you have the chance of a lifetime here. Well, now it's time for Darren Waller to go out there and prove it. They'll keep it on the ground. Richard. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. On third down, Carr. This will be caught by Brown. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll run on first down. Richard. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
A pretty good-looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. On second down, Washington. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. DeAndre Washington. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Carlson on for the PAT. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And a long run there in the end to top it off. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On the delay, this is Abdullah. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Now on fourth down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. It was Darryl Worley there to knock that one free. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
To throw on third down, Carr firing quickly here, and that's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he short of the line to gain. And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag.
The previous play is under review.
The pass on fourth down. Daniil Hunter on the stop.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Throwing on second and long. Cousins. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Raiders pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. They'll keep it on the ground. Richard. Oh, he breaks another. He'll have a first down past the 40. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Richard. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
They are in the 4th in Buffalo. The Bills have taken the lead in what's been a wide-open affair. John Brown, he had a touchdown reception to help the cause. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Raiders, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date